How can I minimize taxes in retirement? I get this question a lot. The answer might be to voluntarily pay more taxes, specifically through Roth conversions. A Roth conversion could be your best shot at minimizing taxes in retirement, but there's a lot of moving parts, and the timing is really important. So you want to make sure that you're considering all angles. Why listen to me? I'm Daniel Masuda Lehrman, your fee-only certified financial planner based out of Honolulu, Hawaii. I help clients just like you within 5 years of retirement who want honest, expert guidance without the sales pitch. So if that sounds like you, you're in the right place. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more strategies to maximize income, minimize taxes, and build a sustainable retirement lifestyle. In this video, I'll break down how a Roth conversion strategy can help retirees in their late 50s or early 60s minimize their tax bill in retirement, reduce RMDs, avoid Medicare penalties, and leave more to their family. Let's start by defining what a Roth conversion is. A Roth conversion is the process of moving money from a pre-tax retirement account, like a traditional IRA or 401k, into a Roth IRA. When you do this, you pay ordinary income tax on the amount converted, but once the money is in the Roth IRA, it grows tax-free and can be withdrawn tax-free in retirement. Unlike traditional IRAs, Roth IRAs are not subject to required minimum distributions or RMDs during your lifetime, which gives you more control over your taxable income in retirement. For individuals with large pre-tax balances, this trade-off, paying tax now to avoid potentially higher taxes later, can be particularly beneficial. Large pre-tax balances can create a tax bomb in retirement where RMDs, starting at age 73 or 75, can push you into higher tax brackets, increase your Medicare premiums, and reduce the tax efficiency of your Social Security benefits. Strategic Roth conversions done during low-income years or before those RMDs or Social Securities kick in can help flatten your lifetime tax curve and give you more flexibility down the road. So when exactly should someone consider doing Roth conversions? One of the biggest misconceptions about Roth conversions is that there's a single correct time to do them. In reality, the best time depends on a lot of things: your income trajectory, your retirement timeline, your Social Security strategy, your beliefs about where tax rates will go in the future, and the size of your pre-tax retirement accounts. Let's walk through two of the most opportune timeframes and two common scenarios where a Roth conversion can actually backfire. First is the low income gap, after retirement but before RMDs, between the ages of 60 to 73. One of the best windows for Roth conversions is the period after you stop working but before RMDs kick in, typically between the ages of 60 and 73. This is often referred to as the retirement income gap. During this phase, your taxable income may drop significantly because you're no longer working and you haven't yet claimed Social Security or pension income. This window of low income creates a valuable opportunity to convert traditional IRA or 401k assets to a Roth IRA at relatively low tax rates. For a lot of retirees, these years offer a chance to fill up the lower tax brackets, like the 12% or the 22% bracket, without bumping into the higher ones. Every dollar converted in this window reduces your future RMDs, which can help you manage your tax bracket in your 70s and 80s, and keep more of your Social Security income tax-free. Here's a quick example. Let's say Mary retires at age 62 with $1.5 million in a traditional IRA. She delays Social Security until age 70 and lives off her savings and a small pension in the meantime. Between the ages of 62 and 73, she converts $80,000 per year to her Roth IRA while staying within the 22% tax bracket. So by the time RMDs kick in at age 73, she has dramatically reduced the size of her pre-tax IRA, lowering her future taxable income and creating a tax-free pool of funds to draw from later in retirement. Closely related to the gap years are the bridge years, the period after retirement but before you claim Social Security benefits. If you plan to delay Social Security until age 70 to receive the full 8% annual delayed retirement credit, you can use these years to strategically shift funds from pre-tax to Roth. So very similar to the first option, but worth distinguishing. On the flip side, when does it not make sense to do Roth conversions? Roth conversions are rarely a good idea when you're still working and earning a high income, typically in your peak earning years between the ages of 40 and 60. If your income is already pushing you into the 24%, 32%, or even the 35% brackets, adding a Roth conversion on top of that can create a pretty hefty and unnecessary tax bill that may not be worth it long term. In this case, a conversion can do more harm than good unless you have a unique circumstance that pushes your effective tax rates down, such as large one-time deductions from business losses, medical expenses, or charitable contributions. Another possible exception is if you expect your tax rate to be even higher in retirement, perhaps due to legislative changes or anticipated windfalls like deferred compensation or real estate sales. Still, for most high-income earners, it makes more sense generally to wait until after you retire and enter into a lower tax bracket. At that point, you can convert more strategically and potentially save tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes over the course of your retirement. Another scenario where you should reconsider doing Roth conversions is when you don't have enough taxable assets, like cash or brokerage funds, available to cover the tax bill. When you convert pre-tax dollars to a Roth IRA, the amount you convert is added to your taxable income for the year and taxes are due on that amount. If you have to pay those taxes by withdrawing from your IRA, you reduce the amount that ends up in the Roth and potentially trigger early withdrawal penalties if you're under 59.5. This completely defeats the purpose of a Roth conversion strategy. Ideally, Roth conversion taxes should be funded with outside money so the full amount converted can grow tax-free. Without sufficient cash reserves, it's often better to wait until you've built up a cash reserve or consider smaller, partial conversions that keep the tax burden more manageable. Now, there are several other timing factors that can make Roth conversions more or less advantageous. One powerful opportunity is to convert during market downturns. When your IRA balance temporarily drops due to a market pullback, you can convert more of your shares for the same tax cost. Then, as the market recovers, that growth happens inside of the Roth IRA tax-free. Converting during a bear market or a recession can significantly boost the long-term value of your conversion. Another key consideration is potential changes to the tax code. The current federal income tax bracket established under the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act are set to expire this year in 2025 unless renewed by Congress. Though this seems likely to be extended, the point is that tax brackets can change with legislation. None of us really know what will happen 5, 10, or 20 years from now. We do know that tax rates are historically low in 2025, which I would argue is a good reason to do Roth conversions now. Also, don't forget to consider Medicare IRMA surcharges, which are extra Medicare premiums triggered by higher income. IRMA is based on your modified adjusted gross income from 2 years prior. For example, a large Roth conversion done in 2025 can raise your Medicare Part B and D premiums in 2027. Even a small increase in your income can push you into a higher IRMA bracket, so it's essential to plan your conversions carefully to avoid any unexpected costs. And finally, married couples should be aware of the widow's penalty. After one spouse passes, the surviving spouse switches to single filing status, which has much narrower tax brackets. This often results in higher taxes on the same amount of income. For married couples with large pre-tax balances, converting more aggressively while both spouses are alive can help mitigate the risk of future tax bracket compression for the survivor. These considerations underscore that timing isn't just about your income, it's about anticipating life changes, market conditions, and tax law shifts. Once you've identified the right window to do Roth conversions, typically during low-income years before RMDs and Social Security kicks in, the next big question is how much should you convert every year? The answer lies in understanding your tax brackets and how Roth conversions interact with that. The most common sweet spot for Roth conversions are the 12, 22, and 24% tax brackets as of 2025. For a lot of retirees, these brackets represent a reasonable trade-off between paying taxes now versus avoiding potentially higher taxes later on, either from RMDs, changes to tax laws, or the widow's penalty. For example, in 2025, a married couple filing jointly can have up to $94,300 of taxable income and still stay within the 12% bracket. The next tier, the 22% bracket, extends to just over $200,000. Depending on your retirement goals, converting enough to fill up these brackets each year can be a very effective strategy. And this is where working with a CPA and/or a certified financial planner becomes really important. With proper modeling, you can run bracket topping strategies, which is converting just enough income every year to stay within your desired bracket. They can also make sure that you account for other variables like capital gains, deductions, state taxes, and Medicare IRMAA thresholds. So, how do you minimize taxes in retirement? For a lot of pre-retirees, the surprising answer is this: you need to voluntarily pay more taxes now through well-timed Roth conversions. By converting during low-income years, especially after retirement but before Social Security and RMDs, you can take advantage of lower tax brackets, avoid future Medicare IRMAA surcharges, reduce the tax burden of your RMDs, and give yourself greater control over your retirement cash flow. But make no mistake, Roth conversions are not one-size-fits-all. The timing, amounts, and methods really vary between person to person. Converting too much, too soon, can push you into a higher tax bracket or trigger unintended tax consequences. And waiting too long can limit your flexibility or lead to a bigger tax bill down the road. So that's why it's critical to model different scenarios, use tools like tax bracket targeting, and work with a fiduciary financial planner who understands the nuances of retirement income planning. If you're approaching retirement and want expert personalized guidance on how you should do Roth conversions, I would love the opportunity to support you. As a fee-only certified financial planner based in Honolulu, I specialize in helping clients within 5 years of retirement create clear, sustainable plans without the sales pitch. If that sounds like the support you're looking for, head over to my website at hawaiiadvisor.com to schedule a free consultation. I work with clients virtually all across the country, and I'd be happy to help you feel more confident about your retirement. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe for more strategies to maximize income, minimize taxes, and build a sustainable retirement lifestyle. Thanks for watching. See you next time.